This is the title segment of the show. This is GOAT Talk.
Bad.
We're
talking about the good ones, the great ones right now.
Yeah, we talking about the greatest of all time players. I mean, LeBron James. Put some respect on Kobe's name. Put some respect on Kobe's name. Tom Brady is coming back for his 23rd NFL season, and I am pissed.
The Warriors have not been successful without Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. They have not. They have the ability to win some games, but realistically, they are not playoff material without Steph Curry.
Just GOAT talk, right? Just GOAT talk. Bad.
You've heard of hot takes, and you're probably tired of hearing the same old talking heads repeating the same stuff over and over again. The time has come for the game to evolve, and just like in sports, there are a select number of individuals who are leading the evolution of change and pushing the game forward. This isn't just a sports podcast. This podcast is about how life, culture, and sports all meet at one intersection. This is the new wave. This is the new sound. This is the evolution. This is the Notes by Notes podcast, where we discuss life, culture, and sports.
Good morning and welcome to the 21st edition of Season 3 of Notes by Notes right here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Jay, that's AP. AP, what's the deal?
Jay? You know, it's all good in the hood.
In the hood.
In the hood, it's all good.
Mr. Rogers.
Wake up, everybody. Welcome in.
Welcome in. Get your eggs, get your toast, get your coffee, get whatever you're eating on this delightful Saturday morning. It's daylight savings time, or we have an extra hour. What? During the night? So this is turn up season. I mean, we know that y'all are turning up, you know, for St. Patty's Day. First, get your caffeine in before you start drinking. But, also, stop by the show. Stop by Notes by Notes. But before we get started, let me tell you about our friends over at A to Z for Skin and Hair. A to Z for Skin and Hair offers a bevy of hair and skin products that have no preservatives and are made with love, like their rice water, their moisturizing hair butter, their rapid growth, and their gang beard oil. To contact A to Z for Skin and Hair to find out more about their products, give them a call at 469-674-5567. Once again, that's 469-674-5567. AP over here. You see that?
Dialing in.
Dial it up. You know what I'm saying? Dial it up. But without further ado, AP, it's been a busy week in sports, in the NFL, in the NBA. NCAA March Madness is upon us.
See.
Oh, my God. It's a sports-filled week, so we're going to hop right into it. And there's no what's in the bag today because March Madness is just so damn exciting. We want to talk some shop here. So we're going to hop in and we're going to do our quick hit March Madness update. Here we go. So, number one, AP. It was an upset alert in the opening weekend.
Yes, it was. It was.
Or opening what, night in the NCAA?
Yep.
But UConn, Kentucky, and Iowa were all upset in the opening round of March Madness. Which upset surprised you the most?
Oh, man, I gotta say, man, St. Peter's out of New Jersey, Joyzy. Them Joyzy boys came out there, and they sent Kentucky packing. In the first round, on the first night, the number 2 seed. How does that happen? That's by far the biggest. It's the second from the last.
Yeah.
Blew out the second. Well, they didn't blow them out, but they beat them by a nice margin. I want to say it was by
like 5. It was a respectable win, 100%. It went into overtime too.
Yeah. And they just never was able to, everybody thought, even myself thought that Kentucky was going to come in and run it up, and they just never were able to gain control. And there's no excuse for it, really. Both teams came out of a four-game stretch before they came into the round one.
Yeah.
In order to get here, there's absolutely no reason Kentucky, they just faced a formidable opponent and lost.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. I mean, they literally come from a school of about 2,000.
Oh my God. That's
Very small. Very small.
That's a high school in Texas for you.
Yeah. So shout out to St. Peter's, man. Did not see that coming, but that is the one that surprised me the most. By far the biggest margin of difference between rankings between those two teams.
I mean, I have to go with you with Kentucky, AP, because in my opinion, Kentucky is so overrated when it comes in regards to college basketball. John Calipari has been at Kentucky for the better part of a decade, and he only has, with all the NBA caliber players that he has that comes to his school, he only has one national title. I mean, what am I to? I'm supposed to just think Kentucky's great this year? They haven't been great in a while. It's been some time since their national championship year. Actually, this is, well, number one, they never lost in the opening round since Jim Calipari has been head coach. And also, they missed the tourney for the second time in 2021, which was the first time in Coach Cal's tenure at Kentucky. So I think this team is descending. I think they're a fallen star. I think they're no longer the hot commodity. I think players have figured out now that they're getting money in college, they don't have to go to Kentucky. They don't. I mean, if you think about it like this, also over the past, 5 years, the best players have came out of Duke. I mean, if you look, Cam Reddish, Jason Tatum, it's a lot of good players at Duke. There's not a lot of good talent coming out of Kentucky. Some, but not the best. Yeah. I mean, I saw it coming. So
I didn't see it coming. I mean, Kentucky is typically a little bit more polished than they played.
Yeah.
I just think they just were extremely off, and they did not play well. They didn't play well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and honestly, St. Peter's, they came out shooting. And that last quarter, the overtime, I mean, they locked in and they didn't let up. So, I mean, yeah, Kentucky, I'm not going to give them too much heat. They definitely dropped the ball here, but, we'll see them in the tournament again next year, and they probably won't get out in the first round. We'll see.
They'll be in the tournament. They're going to be viable. But all I'm saying is, are we really going to fall for the okie doke every single year?
Nah.
That's all I'm saying.
Touche.
That's all I'm saying.
Touche.
So 3 out of the 4 number 1 seeds have advanced so far in the tournament. Which number 1 seed has shown the most promise so far? And if you ask me, AP, if you just ask me, I'm going to say Baylor. Baylor is crazy. They entered the tournament with a type of tenacity you don't see from every team. You look at Gonzaga. Right. I mean, they were up and down in their first game. I mean, you look at some of these teams, you're like, Baylor is definitely one of those squads that has the juice to go the distance.
Absolutely.
And I just love what they're doing. I love the fact that, number one, they're from Texas and they're representing. We do have Houston as well, who could be a pretty solid squad as well. I mean, I'm really loving Baylor, man. I think that they attack the basket like nobody else in this tournament. I think they're going to win it all.
Yeah, Baylor is my choice to win as well. They won last year, so they have the opportunity to go back to back. They did lose some of their core players, and people graduate, they go home, get grown, have kids, get babies, all that good stuff. But they were good last year, and they had quite a few. Well, I ain't gonna say quite a few, but they had a nice amount of players coming in to this season as well. But they did have to rebuild and restructure their starting. Yeah. Now Gonzaga, they out of the last 5 years, they've made it to the final game, and has been runner-ups for 2 out of the last 5 years. Yeah. And mind you, 2020 we didn't see a March Madness because of COVID, and they would have been there as well. So now you have last year's, because they lost to Baylor last year. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of last year's returning players. You have a couple freshmen that are now sophomores and juniors and so on. I want to say, what's his name, Drew Time or Tim?
Yeah. That kid can play.
Yeah, he was a starter he's been a starter, and he actually returned, and they added a few players to build around him. So I think that Gonzaga, I mean, they're rightfully number 1 in their slot, and I think that they will be another it'll be another good matchup between Baylor and Gonzaga if things go my way. Because I would love to see that game again because it was a good one.
I'm rooting for a Baylor Gonzaga national championship. I think that it will be great for the sport. It's a rematch. And who knows, a year from now, they could be going for number 3, a rubber match.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that it's two of the best teams in college basketball going toe-to-toe. Also, Gonzaga has one of the most gifted players in college basketball right now, Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 7'1", has handles, can shoot the 3, also can play in the paint. He does need to gain some weight, but I love what that team has. I mean, last year, who was it? Jalen Suggs, who went off for them during the tournament, now playing in Orlando. I think that that matchup would pack so much power. I think we'll do something special for the sport, in my opinion, and I'm hoping that we see something like that. I mean, you get a Gonzaga and a Kansas, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But Baylor or Gonzaga has to be on the floor in the national championship for it to be something that is going to be like, oh, this is must watch.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this.
Yeah. Now, I mean, that's if my Memphis Tigers don't knock them out in this second round because they do go up against them, and we'll see how that go. But I'm here for it, and I know what's up. But
Memphis go hard.
Memphis does go hard.
Oh my God.
Memphis Tigers, they've been doing their thing. They've gone the distance before, but they've never. I mean, they haven't seen the Final Four or the actual final game. So if they don't get knocked out by my Memphis Tigers, then we'll see Gonzaga go far in the tournament again. I just think they're a great talent. Every year they really are, and I would love to see that revenge matchup, like you said.
Man,
nothing better than a part 2.
Hear me out. Baylor against Houston. That would be a good national title game right there. Baylor against Houston.
Oh yeah.
That would be some good change right there.
Oh yeah, that's Texas is in the building. That thing gonna sell out.
What? And where they playing Target Center in Minnesota? That's where the national championship is going to be. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I'm paying 100%, babe. Can we catch that flight? Cause you know what I'm saying. 254 is going to be in the building, and you got the 713 in the building. 713.
Ludacris, we need your help.
No. Wait, Ludacris didn't live in Houston?
Nobody knows all the area codes from around the world.
Oh my. Oh.
We need our area code
specialist. We did that with Kate out there one time. Oh man, I just hit the mic a little bit, the mic flag, but I'm sorry. That was funny. Yeah, but there's just so many good potential matchups that could come out of this tournament. I mean, I just think it's been the most exciting NCAA March Madness tournament in a long time. I mean, if you go back to when Zion was actually in the tournament, it wasn't as exciting.
Right.
It wasn't as exciting. For some reason, it lacked that because I guess the NIL is a factor, and one and done isn't really a factor anymore because players can leave and go to the G League.
Yeah.
Like Jalen Green did, who plays for the Houston Rockets. There's just so many different options that they have now, but also it does make it enticing for these 4th year, 5th year guys to play their ass off and try to get an opportunity in the NBA after college basketball as well. I'm in love with college basketball again, and Texas won.
There we go.
So I'm loving it, AP. I'm loving it.
Here we go.
All right, so that's our quick hit for March Madness. Of course, we're going to keep you updated all the way through the national title game right here on Notes by Noakes. The people of Cowboys Nation, or the fan base of Cowboys Nation, is freaking out. And they're freaking out because Jerry Jones is finally letting go of Jason Garrett. Not literally. He fired Jason Garrett right before he hired Mike McCarthy in 2020. What I'm saying is he's finally letting go of Jason Garrett because he's letting go of some of the players, most of the players that Jason Garrett actually drafted, right?
Right.
So when I look at the Cowboys' new vision, the Cowboys were 12-5 last year. They lost in the wild card round to the San Francisco 49ers. It was a terrible game. It wasn't even close. It was a beat down for the most part. And I'm man enough to admit that as a Cowboys fan. I'm man enough. The Cowboys were trash in that game. Everybody, even Dak Prescott, was trash in that game. So I mean, I'm off of that. But what I am looking forward to, I'm looking forward to 2022 for the Dallas Cowboys. The reason being is that we're getting rid of some of the inconsistent players that have been a part of this franchise for the past 6 years. And Mike McCarthy is fed up with it. Randy Gregory, number one. Everybody's freaking out about Randy Gregory. I think Randy Gregory is a special talent. I'm not misevaluating his worth. I think Dallas is not in a position to overpay players who aren't available. Randy Gregory never completed a full season in his entire career. Never had a full season where he played a full 17 or 16 games, or now with 17 games. Never has done it. Productive player when he's on the field, but not available all the time.
Right.
What does that create? Number one, when you're not available, we're paying you for, we get it. Injuries, different story. On the weed, like Stephen A. Smith, can't stand off the weed. You know what I'm saying? Or suspensions due to whatever is going on, can't afford it.
Right.
Too expensive. Why should they have to pay Randy Gregory 5 years, $70 million for him to stay? Why? What is the point? Where is the value? He hasn't started a full season since he has been on this roster. That's a problem. You also look at guys like Connor Williams. Connor Williams, 3 false starts in the playoff game against San Francisco. In high school, if you were a junior going into your senior year, your head coach would bench you because of that in the playoff game, unless you're just better than what they what they think. Unless you're just a better player, they
Right.
can't win without, or they can't win without you. The Dallas Cowboys are getting rid of pieces that no longer make sense, money wise or ideal wise. La'el Collins was released by the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas drafted him in the second round, paid him some good money, but where was he this year? On the sidelines. And DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm not here for Stephen Jones passing out these penny contracts. I'm not here for it. Like, he completely disrespected DeMarcus Lawrence. But dog, DeMarcus Lawrence, you have to play better. You got a 3-year deal for $30 million a year. Guaranteed.
Ooh, yeah, you can't.
$10 million a year.
Yeah, you got to do something with that.
You have to.
Got to do something with that.
Look, and I'm not about calling professional players like bad or anything like that. I think that all professional players have a great deal of talent just to make it to that level. So I don't walk around here calling NFL players trash or NBA players trash. I think that's childish. Grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that. But I will call it like I see it. When it's not making sense, then it doesn't make sense, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? So not signing Randy Gregory is not the death sentence for this franchise whatsoever. Now, I will say the Amari Cooper trade is going to hurt. It's going to hurt for quite some time. And that is okay. It's going to be hard for the Dallas Cowboys to maneuver and try to find another productive player who can take in those targets. Some people are split on that. Me personally, I'm like, man. I'm not really like Coop was good for the time he was with the Cowboys.
Right.
This past season revealed a lot of stuff about Coop and the thing, like his attitude towards his teammates and stuff like that. Like the reports coming out about him calling Dak Prescott like a black Kirk Cousins, that's insulting, man. That's insulting. Like, this dude's been throwing to you for X amount of years, and this is what you say to him. Like, I get it in the heat of the moment, just like we talked about last week with Juwan Howard. When you're pissed off, things come out that aren't necessarily true, but at the same time, you got to have some type of decorum. But I do think the trade Amari Cooper being traded is definitely going to sting for quite some time. But the rest of them, bye. Greg Zuerlein,
Deuces.
bye. Well, somebody said somebody called him limp leg Greg. You know what I'm saying? Bye, Greg. You know what I'm saying? Blake Jarwin, never available. What did the Cowboys do after paying him 2 years ago? Released him. They're like, we are no longer paying players who are not available and who cost too much money. That's the name of the game, and they have to get tight. Wide receivers, a ton of them in the draft. We found Michael Gallup. We found Cedric Wilson, too, who went to Miami. We found a lot of players, wide receivers in the draft. CeeDee Lamb in the draft. First rounder, but still in the draft. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to be a porous team because of losing Amari Cooper. I think it's going to hurt, but losing Randy Gregory or losing Lyle Collins or losing Greg Zuerlein or Blake Jarwin. The issue that they're going to have is what their head coach does when it's time to shine.
Right.
That's all I got. Mike McCarthy is getting rid of the Garrett guys. And I also think that Jerry Jones, there's an onus on him to make sure that Mike McCarthy gets his guys so that way he can see how he performs with the players that he wants. Once he gives him that, just like he gave Garrett, he gave him a chance to prove what he could do with the players that he wanted. If he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. Jerry Jones could move on to the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Bring Bill Parcells back. Hell, Jimmy Johnson, you want to coach? Somebody. Anybody. But that's all I got, AP. I had to get that off my chest because Cowboys Nation is going nuts. They acting like they don't know how to act.
I mean, I think it's just like everybody else is doing. They're taking this time to restructure. Cowboys needed to make some funds available. And I think that that's fair. Like, when you really look at it and you see that right now, the name of the game is cut the check.
Yeah.
And they needed some checks to be able to cut. They needed to make some room, so they got rid of a lot of people. But, I mean, that just creates more wiggle room for great things to happen. So, I mean, shout out to Cowboys Nation. This might be a restructuring year. This might be the year that you guys restructure, move some things around, some notable pieces, and that's okay. If you look back at some of the greatest teams, sometimes you got to take a step back to drive forward.
I like it, motivational speaker AP. I like it.
Right.
I'm glad that you're positive about it.
In Dak we trust, right?
In Dak we trust. You know what? People give Dak so much stuff, and I get it. He's only won one playoff game, but how long did we tolerate Tony Romo?
Sheesh.
And most of y'all out there like standing Tony Romo for some apparent reason. I have no idea. But I love him as a commentator. He goes hard as a commentator. I'll stand him as a commentator all day long.
Right.
But as a quarterback, it's a quarterback.
You want your quarter?
I want my quarter back. They gave him $250,000 that we need to get back. Recoup that. There's a lot of 8-8 seasons for $25 million. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But that's my whole spill on the AP. I just think that people need to open up their eyes and see that the NFL is in the front office side of it. It's all about the long game. I don't think this team is going to be bad. I don't think that they're going to retool, or I don't think that they're going through a rebuild. I do think that they're going through a retool moment because they see or saw that there were players on their roster that was not completely bought in, and their production showed that. So it's nothing wrong for a franchise to do that. I mean, hell, Cleveland's doing it right now with Baker Mayfield.
That's true.
I mean, they just traded for Deshaun Watson. So keep it in perspective, Cowboys Nation. Keep it in perspective. I do want to slide this in, AP.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson traded to the Cleveland Browns. So it's funny, right? So the reason why he chose Cleveland, so he didn't go to Atlanta.
Right.
Why?
Strip clubs. too many strip clubs. I need to focus on my work.
My guy is extremely cautious right now.
Right.
He's like, nah, fam, I'm good. I'm going to go to Cleveland where it's boring.
Right.
It snows and ain't nothing to do. Ain't no such thing as no sneaky link in Cleveland.
Right. He pulled up his Yelp and he was like, let me see what there is to do in Atlanta. Magic's. Okay.
With the wings?
All right. And yeah. Oh, I can't go there. God forgive me. Let me go somewhere else.
You know what? This is how the conversation went. He was like, yo, so yeah, these are my two teams. This is where I want to go. His agent was like, no, abort mission. You are not going to Atlanta. Are you crazy? But Cleveland got their guy. Traded for him Friday and paid him $238 million.
Sheesh.
For 4 years.
Cut the check. That's fair.
Cut the check. So
more than fair. That's handsome.
yeah, he's going to Cleveland, and we'll see what Deshaun Watson can do for the Cleveland Browns. Do I immediately think they're the best team in the AFC North? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Look, Deshaun Watson's better than Joe Burrow. Yes, Joe Burrow was in the Super Bowl, but let's not get it twisted. Let's not forget who Deshaun Watson is.
Right.
Like, everybody, who else? Lamar Jackson? It's kind of close, but Deshaun Watson is more of a consistent passer in comparison to Lamar Jackson.
There we go.
I think it's going to be beautiful, man. I can't
It's
wait
gonna be
to
fun
watch.
to watch if nothing else.
It is. I'm drafting him for fantasy. Definitely drafting him for
You
fantasy.
told the people you play now they gonna come against you.
They can come on with it. What you gonna do, player? Cletus, what you gonna do, Cletus? Come on, Cletus. This is the title segment of the show. This is Goat Talk.
Bad.
Bad.
I don't even know if goats make that sound or just lambs. I'm not sure, but
Hey,
we talk about the good ones, the great ones right now.
yeah, we talking about the greatest of all time players, and LeBron James.
Let's talk about him. Let's talk about the guy. All right, King James. I mean, he's currently holding the record as the first player, 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, 10,000 rebounds, and counting. It's the and counting part for me. You know what I mean? With these guys breaking these historic records and we're still going, and he has no signs of slowing down right now. We're going to see LeBron for at least another season or two, at least. You know what I'm saying? So we could definitely see a lot more from the King. What does that say about him as a player? I mean, the greatest of all time, I think that is one of the conversations that he's been in since he joined the league. It's always been a question of, is he the greatest? I think that this actually puts one more notch under that belt to where we're separating him from that from the Michael Jordan comparison conversation, right?
Yeah.
We're not having the Michael Jordan comparison conversation when we talk about 30,000 points, 10,000 assists and rebounds, right? That's not a Michael Jordan stat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
First player ever.
Yeah, that's not a Michael Jordan stat. So one of the things that I just want to say about LeBron James that these stats tell us is the type of player that he is. You know what I mean? You have players that can shoot, like even with Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? He's broken history as having the most 3-pointers. That tells me that he's an amazing shooter.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't say anything else about, and not to say that he's not, but it doesn't speak to his ability to move the ball, to garner plays, to energize the game, or to even change the pace of a game, which is what rebounding and assists both do. Getting a rebound and dishing that out and making plays, and assists are actually making the plays that make the points.
Right.
That says a lot about a key player in a game. So, I mean, this really does put LeBron James in a class all of his own. I'm not going to be a hater. And I've typically been, I'm not going to say I'm anti-LeBron, but I'm anti the hype.
Yeah.
And I really try to stay away from the hype. But this is not hype. This is facts. Print them.
Numbers.
This is stats. It's numbers. And men lie, women lie. Numbers, they don't. Shout out to Lil Wayne. He said it, not me. I know it's clever. But yeah, no. Seriously, we need to give Mr. James some respect. He's doing some things that have not been done, and he's going to continue to do it.
Yeah, and you said it best, AP. The proof is in the pudding.
The Jello pudding.
The proof is in the yellow pudding. You see, Rudy.
That's the best.
You really? You like?
That's the best.
I've been practicing that since I was 18. Actually, shout out to Isaac Miller, my homie, who does the intro for the show. That's my dog, and he taught me how to do that.
He taught you that.
He's the GOAT. Like, nah. You, I'm gonna have to get a video. I'm gonna have to show you.
Oh yeah,
Isaac Miller, the GOAT at the Bill Cosby. The pudding.
Isaac, please, we need to see it. If you taught him, that was great.
Yeah, thank you.
That was
Thank
great.
you,
I need to watch my drink around you. You might just become.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, Jesus, Lord, touch her heart.
I would never.
Oh my God!
I thought I was sitting next to the real Bill.
I drank the pills and don't come in the cup. Oh my God!
It was an Oreo cookie.
Shout out to Mama Granger too, Miss Granger. She loves my homies. And P. Resh's mom, who does A to Z for Skin and Hair. Her mom, she loves that impersonation. She loves that impression.
It was
she
a good
loves
one.
it. I appreciate that. But but for real, the proof is in the pudding, right? I mean, if you look at his numbers, he's played in the regular season 1,361 games.
Yeah.
Most of that was up until what, 2019? 2020 is when we really started seeing LeBron hurt and starting to miss games.
Yeah.
I mean, AP, I've kind of gone past the point of dislike or disdain for LeBron James.
Yeah.
I actually have learned to appreciate. Hey, get this. My favorite Super Bowl commercial that came out this year was when LeBron James was talking to his 2003 self. Not only did that take me back to when LeBron James in 03, he had the posters where he was he was sitting on a throne with two lions and a basketball lined up. It takes me back to the McDonald's All-American game. I saw him for the first time on ESPN, and he wore the number 32 because they wouldn't allow him to wear number 23.
Yeah.
All of those things came rushing back. And at that moment when I saw that commercial, I was like, I have to learn to appreciate LeBron James. I have to learn how to appreciate his greatness. No matter how he did things, no matter how he won his championships, LeBron James is the standard. Never had any off-the-court issues.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Has given back to his community in the best way. Has done everything the right way, as they would say.
Right.
He's trained his body. He spends millions on his body. He loves his kids. He loves his wife. I don't know. Whatever. People have rumors. They say he's unfaithful or whatever. That's your opinion. That's not fact.
Right.
What I see is that LeBron James is a loving husband, and he appreciates his kids. He appreciates his family, and he'll do anything for them. People have to learn how to appreciate greatness, AP.
Yeah.
They have to learn how to appreciate it, because this right here, like you said, 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, 10,000 rebounds. The first to ever do it.
I'm going to look something up while you say that. Let me see something. Because what I want to see, how close I want to see what the lead, I think is it
I think it was Kareem with the most points.
With the most points?
Mm-hmm.
Most points in NBA history. I just want to see what their stat line is looking like for, first and foremost, Kareem is at 38,387. That's not far.
Yeah.
That's not far, to be clear.
Yeah.
I'm not finna do the math on it, but that's not very far. LeBron James is third in line to be the all-time leader in scoring, so he's right on the cusp. Let me see what he got to do. And we are literally finna be officially at LeBron watch.
LeBron.
So he's actual points, and I don't know when this was updated, but we're actually showing him at 36,873. Let me see here. Field goals, 3-point attempts, field throw, free throw, dribbles, rebounds. All right. So he's in assists. He's doubled He's doubled the amount of it, and this is what I'm talking about in terms of like the type of player that you are.
Yeah.
He's doubled in assists for he's already doubled past Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is at 5,660 assists. Now, as far as rebounds, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 17,440. So he got some work to do in terms of rebounds, but that's a big dude.
Yeah.
Karl Malone's a big dude. Those are big men in the paint, right? But when you look at LeBron and he plays the floor and he can do it all, yeah, that's where you see the difference. The assists is the difference maker. It makes him a team player. It makes him the person who makes the plays happen, not just the guy who's scoring the ball.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, man, shout out to LeBron James. He is doing his thing, and I mean, yeah, man, it's just it can't be scoffed at. That's good stuff, man. I'm not hating on him.
Real quick before we do move on to another GOAT here, because that happened and something else happened all in the same week, right?
Oh, yes.
But like you said, LeBron James, the type of player he is, the premier type of player that he is. Like, we never seen anything like LeBron James. And I think that's where we draw the line with the Jordan comparison, because at that point, we never saw anything like Michael Jordan. Yes, we saw dynamic scorers. We saw dynamic dunkers. We saw like Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins. You know, we saw those type of players. Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp was exciting playing for the Seattle Supersonics. Probably one of my favorite players from the 90s. Sean Kemp was that guy, you know, but no one did it quite like Mike. Now, I will say this. Put some respect on Kobe's name.
Yeah,
Put some respect on Kobe's name. Just because he looked like Michael Jordan when he did it does not take away from the greatness that Kobe Bryant was. 5 rings. 5 of them. 5 of them. NBA champion.
Oh, yeah.
2 on his own. Yeah, he had Pau Gasol. He did it by himself. Yeah, he had Trevor Reed. He did it by himself. 2 on his own. Michael Jordan had Pippen. LeBron James had Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. He had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Yeah. So if we really want to break it down, put some respect on Kobe's name, please. Because I'm not going to hear this diatribe about y'all out here talking about Kobe wasn't this, Kobe was. Y'all are tripping. Mamba mentality.
And
one of the greatest to do it.
3
teams.
LeBron did it with 3 different teams. So it's the player.
Yeah.
It's the player.
It's definitely the player. But, you know, mad respect to LeBron for this major accomplishment. So, all right, AP. 2 things happened this week. 2 great things. It was LeBron James, and then coming back out of retirement after 2 months. Well, 2 months after saying he was going to retire, Tom Brady is coming back for his 23rd NFL season, and I am pissed.
You didn't buy the ball, did you?
I didn't. Oh, that dude got man. Bruh.
Oh, man. Tom Brady probably going to give him a refund, though.
He got fleeced.
That'd be fair.
Bruh, he got robbed in broad daylight. Like, that's like, bruh. Like,
I mean, first of all, how did he even get the ball? I feel like that's something that, I mean, if I was Tom Brady, I probably would have wanted to keep my last game ball.
I mean, well, so the thing is that Tom Brady actually, I think he got the ball back, and he gave the guy who got the ball, because Mike Evans threw it up into the stands.
Got it.
Yeah, and he got the guy, I think some Bitcoin, some swag, some stuff, like some compensation, like real money.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think once he retired, something happened with the ball. I'm not too clear on the story, but some way, somehow, there's a guy out there that paid X amount of dollars for that ball, and the last touchdown, and it's not Tom Brady's last touchdown.
Ooh. Is it, please? It could be his last touchdown still. He's coming back, but is he coming back?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, again, I had to move off of the disdain part for Tom Brady. I didn't like, I take back what I said. I'm pissed. I'm not really pissed. I would say that I thought that there would come a time that we would see Tom Brady actually retire and say, this is it. You know what I mean? But I am more appreciative of Tom Brady's greatness now for some reason. Just like LeBron. I don't know what it is.
Growth. When you grow, you look at things different.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, I mean, shout out to him. You know, I can imagine going home, being a stay-at-home dad with kids. I would go back to work too. I would go back to work too.
Easy.
So, you know, shout out to Tom Brady. A lot more to see from him. Obviously, he's not done yet.
So let's talk about another GOAT. Look, I told you it's GOAT talk, all right? This GOAT talk. Bad. Oh, snap. Right on time. So Steph Curry has been sidelined due to a sprained left foot, but he could make a return in the postseason. AP, are you worried much about the Warriors' NBA championship aspirations, or are you all right? You chilling?
No.
I can't see. I'm blind.
Barely. I mean, so let's just call a spade a spade. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you can. There's no way you can know a thing about basketball. There's no way you can know a thing about the team and the Golden State Warriors organization and not be a little bit, you know, right?
I'm kind of.
They have not been. I mean, it's just been proven. The Warriors have not been successful without Steph Curry. They have not. They have the ability to win some games, but realistically, they are not playoff material without Steph Curry. They have some good pieces, and they're even able to move those pieces around. But over the last few weeks, they've been restructuring their gameplay to fit back into Curry's style of play, the rotation play. The rotation schedule, you know, around, you know, the Curry, the Draymond, the Clay, you know, those big three to keep them, you know, energized throughout the game. And they fit that around Steph Curry because he's their core player. So now they have to relearn and redo things. And it's kind of late in the game to kind of restructure stuff like that. Yeah. It's really late in the game to throw in a cold point to try to expect that person to, you know, step up to the plate. Can they still be good? Absolutely. I have the utmost confidence in Steve Kerr's coaching. I have the utmost confidence in, you know, the supporting cast. I mean, even with Clay making his return this year, he has an opportunity to do something that he has not been afforded before, which is be that guy.
Yeah.
He's one half of the Splash Brothers.
He could do it. He
is an equally equipped player in terms of shot selection as Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I can't see it another way. He is good at the shot. He's good at being outside of the arch. Everything that Steph Curry brought to the game as far as the shots and getting points, Klay Thompson can fill that gap, I think. Yeah. Especially with a healthy Draymond, they can definitely mesh that connection and be the secondary dynamic duo of the Warriors. Steph is going to be reevaluated in about 2 weeks, I want to say they said. So hopefully we get some better news. It was a roll. It wasn't a break. His ankle brace, you know, they have some concerns about that because Steph already has. I use the term weak ankles loosely, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not. I don't mean it like he just be getting shook and broke, but Steph has had issues with his ankles over a couple seasons previously. And my biggest, well, not really my biggest concern, but some people's biggest concern is that the way that his ankle brace sits, with his foot injury, there may be some issues with that. So it's a lot to work into it with him coming back, and we are so close to the playoff run. The good thing, the bright side, is that this next stretch of games, the Warriors lost the last 4 games going into this stretch. Yeah. So they've already been on the decline with Steph. They have about 12 games or so coming up, but the next 7 games are not that trying. They do face the Memphis Grizzlies towards the end of the stretch, right at the end of the month of March. So we'll see. Can they do it? Yeah, for sure. Golden State, they've surprised us before. They've not surprised us without Steph. So it's a test.
I like it. I like what you're saying.
It's a test, boy.
I think it's all about chemistry too, though, AP.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, he's out, right? But in my opinion, you know, you got to have that level of chemistry. When you have a player who's absent and who is your most productive player, you're going to run into some issues there. You know what I mean? So, I really think I still like their prospects. I do think him being out for some time is going to hurt their possibilities.
Absolutely.
I do think it's going to hurt their chemistry. I mean, you don't want to fall off in the seeding, and you don't want to face a hungry 8 seed team when you're a number 1 team, number 1 seed team. I mean, we've seen it happen in history where there's been teams that have been great and they get knocked off by an 8 seed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I think that they're still going to be dominant. I just don't know to the extent of what I previously thought before this injury and before the 4 losses. So, I mean, the playoffs are still up in the air, but the Warriors were pegged to be one of the best playoff teams in the NBA this year. So,
they were 1 game behind the Memphis Grizzlies for number 2.
Oh, man.
One game behind.
And you know what? The Memphis is a dangerous. Last week's episode was called "This is a Dangerous Group." That's a dangerous group of players right there.
Yes.
Big time shout out to DeSoto's own Von Miller.
Hey.
Secured the bag, 6-year, $40 million contract. I'm just like, get your money, Von. But also, he goes to a Super Bowl contender too. So, I think that it was a good thing for him. I mean, unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys missed out on him. Apparently, Stephen Jones is out here offering penny contracts.
Come on, man. Y'all just got rid of all them players. You couldn't
Offering a bag of rice and some Skittles.
You couldn't try.
Say, fam. Yeah, Von, you right for leaving. But I do think that he'll be the player that gets the Bills over the top to some degree. I think, having a really good pass rush, putting him with Ed Oliver is kind of putting him like with a Aaron Donald type player. Buffalo's going to be dangerous, AP. Buffalo's going to be dangerous. Your Titans better watch out.
Yeah, that's true. Buffalo was one of my picks to, potentially go the distance. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what they do. Josh Allen over with, Von Miller, he said he had a lot of faith in them. No, excuse me. Wait, they traded. He went
to the from the Rams to the Bills.
He has Burrow now, right?
No, he has Josh Allen. He went to the Bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was right.
Yeah.
In my mind, I felt like there was a quarterback trade there, but we're still good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now Trubisky signed with the Steelers, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes. Von Miller, he said that he has a ton of faith in Josh Allen, and, he wants to play several seasons with them, and he feels like he can get them several Super Bowls. So I think that it's going to be a good match. I think that, he feels comfortable. He said that the locker room atmosphere and everything is what he wanted. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, something had to move. It's just crazy to win a Super Bowl and be like, I think I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Especially L.A. to Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if it ain't the money,
that's a head scratcher.
If it ain't the money, it's something. But I don't know. I don't think one player can make that much of a difference. But they did move some other pieces around, and I don't know. We'll see. But Buffalo Bills are definitely one of the teams to watch out for in this upcoming season. They got to be.
Yeah. Let's not forget the AFC Championship. They went toe to toe.
Absolutely.
Went toe to toe. Or not the AFC Championship. The divisional round against the Chiefs. Went toe to toe with the Chiefs the whole entire game and only lost by a touchdown. So he's definitely a talented player being added to a talented roster. But go get your bag, bro. Get your bag, bro. So AP, take it away. What's going on with Brittany Greiner right now?
All right. So with the Brittany Greiner situation, we still know about as much as we knew last week. We have not had a lot of access to her. Well, from my understanding, the Attorney General has not been able to get access to her at all. So they have been in talks with her legal team, but part of the issue is that Russia has denied several requests over the last few weeks to basically connect. They want to see her. We've yet to lay eyes on Brittany Greiner. As far as anybody, from my understanding, there's not been anyone who said, well, hey, I saw her, I spoke with her. Other than her legal team, from my understanding, I think that her legal team has been in contact with her specifically. But other than that, the government has not been allowed to see her or get an update on her condition of well-being. As far as she recently had a court date where she pled not guilty, And because she pled not guilty, now they rescheduled her for a actual court date, May 19th.
Wow.
May 19th is the soonest she'll be able to get in front of a judge. As far as it stands right now, the U.S. is still fighting to try to get some type of agreement to where they can at least bring her to the U.S. She's hoping to, get home with her family, or at least closer, where we're used to the legalities of it all.
Right.
There's some normalcy in terms of the legal process. Russia has not given any inkling or any leeway as to if, when, or how that can happen, and if so, what that would look like if Brittany Griner was able to be extradited back to the U.S. As of right now, very limited discussions. We don't know how she's doing, what she's doing, or what that means for her being held until May 19th. So as always, prayers for Brittany Griner. We definitely hope that this comes to an end sooner than later, or at least we get some answers at a minimum. We want to see her. We want to make sure she's alive and well, proof of life, proof of safety, and just an update on the case. We want some facts, and that's what we're not getting right now.
Yeah.
Pivot over into my top 5, and it's not my top 5, it is the top 5. A lot of movement recently in the East and West, so the overall is still standing strong. No changes to the top 5 teams. We have our Milwaukee Bucks rounding off the top 5. We have Golden State Warriors. Actually, there has been a change, because last week Dallas Mavericks were in the top 5, and they just swoop-de-woo-de-boop back down, and now the Bucks have gotten their 5th spot back. So excuse me, correction on that. Golden State Warriors are at a waning number 4. We'll see how that changes here in the next couple weeks, which it should. Just being transparent, the Memphis Grizzlies still holding strong in the top 3 at number 3. Miami Heat are at number 2. And they're number 1 in their conference. And the Phoenix Suns have not moved, have not taken a step, and have not wiggled at all out of the number 1 spot. So we hope.
I feel like the Obama move.
Mic check. Mic drop. Mic drop. Yeah, Phoenix Suns, they're just killing it, man. I don't know what that's gonna look like in come the finals, but sheesh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Woo! I think I love the top 5, and also to recap off of to touch the Brittany Griner situation. Prayers to her family. I think that's scary.
I cannot imagine.
I could not imagine. I couldn't. If it was my daughter, my sister, my aunt, my uncle, my mom, my friend, whatever, anyone, it would be a terrible thing. So we're definitely praying that Brittany Griner makes it back safely, in lieu of everything that's happening around the world in our country. And I think we can always point back to the reason why she was there, and it's unfortunate that she had to go to those extents just to make a livable wage to do the things that professional athletes do.
Oh yeah.
So I'm praying for Brittany, but and I hope she comes home unscathed, and okay, that's what we want. For your top 5 though, AP, did you say my Mavericks are in that top 5?
No. They were.
They were okay.
They were up there. They had just hit the top 5 like last week, and then they moonwalked back.
Well, you know what? Spencer Dinwiddie did hit a pretty clutch shot in Brooklyn the other night. Best trade in a long time, Dallas. Best trade. Thank you, Mark Cuban. Thank you, Nico Harrison. Thank you, Jason Kidd. Thank you. Because the Mavericks are looking really good. I cannot wait till the playoffs. I'm so giddy.
Yeah. And that's where it matters. This top 5 is just top 5 for now.
Yeah.
When you actually get into the playoffs, it's a one and done. No, I'm sorry. It's not a one and done. I get so excited.
Yeah.
You got 7 games. But the play-in tournament is really going to be the decision maker for where these bottom-seeded teams, and when I say bottom, that's still pretty high because that's going to be your 9th, 10th seeds, where they get an opportunity to see if they're going to get in there.
Yeah.
And it's anybody's game with those because you you don't get 7 tries.
Yeah. Oh, you don't. You only get
So one and done for those. So we shall see what really happens in the upcoming weeks. And they already got the brackets out, so you can go to NBA.com and see the pending brackets, so you can really see it all laid out for your top 8 teams that are kind of that have their spots secured. Some teams are already, I forgot what the word is, where they're basically a shoe in, and
they clinched the playoff spot.
Yeah, something like that. I can't think of what the word is. But they already have a bracket that's pending right now, and they're waiting on some of those bottom seats to get filled in. So check that out, and you guys can follow along too.
I love it. And also, good segue, AP. I love it. Yep. Boop, doop. Speaking of brackets, the Notes by Notes bracket challenge is live right now.
Yes, sir.
We're going to update you every single day. We're going to bring you updates once this opening round is complete over the weekend. And we'll post it on the Facebook page, our Twitter, and also Instagram to tell you who's in the lead. As of right now, AP, my bracket's looking kind of tight. You know what I'm saying? Look pretty good,
So says
well, everybody was shocked by the Kentucky thing. I picked Kentucky. I shouldn't have even picked Kentucky. I knew I should have picked Kentucky.
Threw the whole bracket off.
Through the whole one. And then Iowa went down. That was a great game. Auburn showed up today. The teams who were supposed to show up showed up. So follow along. Fill out your own bracket. It's not too late. Print it out. You can't sign into our group. But, hey, how about this? Get your bracket. Fill out your bracket. And if you didn't get a chance to sign up in our group, leave a comment showing the picture on this show post or send it to us in a DM. We'll add you as a part of the update.
We're pretty friendly people. We don't mind.
We don't mind. There you go.
Hey, I do want to say, though, I know that we're following the men's bracket, but, man.
The women's bracket.
Yo, today, South Carolina put a whooping on Howard University women. Whew, it was bad. It was so bad. They were single digits, going in single digits. Come on, man. They just broke into. I don't even know what the final score was because I stopped watching when it was like 8-44.
My God.
It was so bad, man. But sheesh, these women are not playing either.
Yo.
You either here to play or you got to get away.
South Carolina, the Lady Gamecocks have probably one of the best point guards in the nation, number 3. And I saw her play last year, and I was like, this girl can play.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she can go. Like, she can play. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite to win the national championship this year in the women's bracket. Support women's basketball, people.
Fill the seats.
Fill the seats. These women play their asses off to be on this stage in March Madness. The women's tournament is just as exciting as the men's tournament, if not more exciting in the first 2 rounds because there's 32 teams in comparison to 64.
Yeah.
It means a lot more for them to get started early. So support women's professional and collegiate, high school, and little league sports. Do that for me, okay? Okay.
Pull up to the rack.
Okay. Pull up to the rack. Go to YMCA. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we had girls at DeSoto that could beat a lot of guys that I know. A lot of guys. All right, y'all. So that's it for the 21st edition. We're finally drinking AP with 2021.
21. Cheers to that.
Cheers. There we go. Bing. Drink your coffee, people. And before we let you go, let's tell you about our friends over at A to Z for Skin and Hair. You can contact them at 469-674-5567. Once again, that's 469-674-5567. Ask them about their rice water, their moisturizing hair butter, their rapid growth, and their gang beard oil. Tell them that your friends over at Notes by Notes sent you. AP, you got any closing remarks?
Hey, nothing but have a good day and holler at us next week.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share. Share.
Yeah, do that. Enjoy your green beer. Enjoy everything you got going on today. We'll see you guys. Well, actually, we got a cheer meet next week, so we're not going to be here. So no show next week. We'll try to make something happen. We'll see what
Try to make something happen. But
See
tap
what we
into
do.
all of our social media because there will be content all week. Jay does a great job of giving you guys some stuff to look at so that you don't miss us too much. Because, these faces, you want to put them in your places.
I appreciate the dude, Chris.
That probably didn't come out right. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. You want to see us? Tap in.
Tap in. Tap in. All right, folks, we'll see you guys next week, possibly. If not, we'll see you guys the week after next. Stay up, have fun this weekend, stay safe, and peace.